Today, I want you to go into your investing account and look at the number and feel what it would look like if you multiply that number by 30,000 times. Crazy huge, right? That's what you would have made if you'd have invested your money into Warren Buffett's company called Berkshire Hathaway at the beginning. Now, I know that we won't get as good as he is in terms of investing, nor we will get that same ups and downs in the market what he faced, but the strategy still exists. Still it can be followed and still it can help us in being disciplined in our finance and investing goals. Hi friends, my name is Raj and I am finance geek by passion and data scientist by profession. If you are new here, do check out my channel after you watch this video where I am explaining 6 rules of Warren Buffett for young people like me, and also will help you understand how to implement and create a discipline around it so you are not just stuck with the advice but also have some guidance around it. Let's check the first rule. Cash is not good investment.
Cash is always a bad investment. I mean, when people said cash is king a year ago, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, cash wasn't producing anything, and it was sure to go down in value over time. I mean, I would much rather have good businesses than cash. And all you know is that the dollar is going to be worth less 10, 20, 30 years from now. I say worth less, not worthless. Right. You want to watch that. But it will be, you know, and that's true of almost every currency that I can think of.
As he said, cash value will reduce with each passing year, and it's not definitely good to have your cash sitting in your bank account or even in your secret wardrobe. Instead, you should invest that cash. Now, there are various ways to do that. You could either fixed deposit them. In Canada, we have something like GICs, or you could invest into broader market ETFs like S&P 500. Some traditional sources of investments also includes investing in precious metals like gold and silver, but you could also buy gold and silver sovereign bonds nowadays, so you don't have to worry about the possession of that physical asset. No matter what you do, but what Mr. Buffett is trying to convey is that the cash is worth less tomorrow than it is today, so better not to sit on cash for very long and instead invest it somewhere. Watch this video here if you are in Canada and want to park your cash for short term without any market risk. Now let's go to the second rule. Invest in productive assets.
The third category of asset is something that you value based on its what it will produce, what it will deliver. You buy a farm because you expect a certain amount of corn or soybeans or cotton or whatever it may be to come your way every year. And you decide how much you pay based on how much you think the asset itself will deliver over time. And those are the assets that appeal to me and Charlie. Now, logically, you should not care whether you get a quote on that farm a day later or a week later, a month later, or a year later. We feel the same way about businesses. When we buy a marketable security, we don't care if the stock exchange closes for a few years. So when we look at Berkshire, we are looking at what we think can be delivered from the productive assets that we own and how we can utilize that capital in acquiring more productive assets.
Here, Mr. Buffett is trying to convey that market moves at its own pace and you will have endless opportunities to invest. So, you should rather look at the productive assets in the market instead of working on the prices or, as he said, quotes on it. To do that, you will definitely have to gain some knowledge about the market in general. And here is a really good book if you are new to investing and want to learn more about how you can start your journey in the market. I'm also putting a link in the description of this book. Now let's go to the rule number 3, which is evaluate companies first.
For the average person who's maybe never bought a stock before, what's your advice about that? You can't constantly sit there and wait and say, oh, it's going to go higher, it's going to go higher.
We don't even think about that. What we think about is how much is it selling for, how much do we think it's worth. When we bought it at $35 billion effectively, I felt the company was probably worth at least $100 billion.
How did it come to your attention? How do you find a stock like PetroChina?
Now, I didn't look at the price first. I look at the business first and try and figure out what it's worth, because if I look at the price first, I'll get influenced by that. So I look at the company first. I try to value it, and then I look at the price, and if the price is way less than what I've just valued it at, I'm going to buy it.
Mr. Buffett clearly explains the simple rule of understanding the value of the company, but for him, it's years of practice. And we as an individual investors might struggle with this idea. So here is what you should do. Keep your eyes out for the good companies in the industries of your interest. I'm listing various valuable investing magazines and journals in this description for you to follow. If they have any email newsletters, do subscribe to that. And if they don't, then do bookmark their website so that you can always go back and read these free materials which can help you become a better investor. If you're passionate about investing and will develop reading habits around these resources, I'm sure you will keep yourself updated. Once you get a good understanding of a company, you can use your circle of competence to make a good, meaningful decisions. But Mr. Buffett, what does that mean? That brings us to our fourth rule, which is stay in circle of competence.
Defining your circle of competence is the most important aspect of investing. It's not how important, how large your circle is. You don't have to be an expert on everything. But knowing where the perimeter of that circle of what you know and what you don't know is, and staying inside of it, is all important. So if I understand a few things and I stick in that arena, I'll do okay. And if I don't understand something, but I get all excited about it because my neighbors are talking about it, the stocks are going up and everything, they start fooling around someplace else, eventually I'll get creamed, and I should.
Here, Mr. Buffett wants to enforce his learning that you as an investor should have an expertise in an area in investing and stock market and should only focus on your spot or your expertise when it comes to making decisions, because no one can learn everything. And do not, I repeat, do not jump on the hype train if you do not understand it. Here are some things you can do to increase your level of competence. You could go either into the technical analysis route for investments or go into the fundamental analysis route for the investments. In technical analysis, you focus more on the charts and the trends over time. And of course, there is a lot more to it, but do let me know in the comment section if you are interested to learn more about the technical analysis. I can cover that in a separate video. On the other hand, in the fundamental analysis, you focus on the history of the company, the news around the stock itself, as well as the financials of the company to make a decision. And fundamental analysis itself is so big that even within that you can have your own competence. The goal is to invest in an individual stock only when you see that that stock checks all your boxes when it comes to your circle of competence. When I personally started learning more about the options trading during pandemic, I learned a lot about the technical analysis and was doing real good when it comes to making money. But what happened was that I started getting into these hype train, Wall Street bets of the world, and started losing money over time and ultimately went flat by the end of 2021. So you know what to do. Don't do what I did. That brings us to his fifth rule of investing, which is play big and don't waste opportunities.
Big opportunities in life have to be seized. We don't do very many things, but when we get the chance to do something that's right and big, we've got to do it. And even to do it in a small scale is just as big a mistake almost as not doing it at all. I mean, you really gotta grab them when they come. Because you're not going to get 500 great opportunities. There's a temptation to dabble, particularly during bull markets. In stocks, it's so easy. It's easier now than ever because you can do it online. Just you click it in and maybe it goes up a point and you get excited about that and you buy another one the next day and so on. You can't make any money over time doing that. But if you had a punch card with only 20 punches, you weren't going to get another one in the rest of your life, you would think a long time before every investment decision. And you would make good ones and you'd make big ones. And you probably wouldn't even use all 20 punches in your lifetime, but you wouldn't need.
I'm sure you would have heard this phrase in investing called don't put all your eggs in one basket, but here Mr. Buffett is advising to go big or go home. Why? Well, let me help you. He's basically trying to say from his experience that most opportunities you will get in investments will lead to failure and only a few will lead to the actual success. Now, investments is not like learning where you try and fail and keep trying until you succeed, because if you do that, you will lose a lot of money in the game. So instead, treat the life like a punch card where you only have, for example, 20 punches, and each decision you make, you have to punch on that punch card. And when you know that you have limited amount of punches or decisions to make in your life, you will definitely work a lot harder before making any decisions when it comes to investments and get better results at the end of the day. And what he is saying is that you won't even have to punch 20 cards to become a millionaire if you do that, because you will not invest in any individual stocks unless you feel extremely confident about it. And when you will feel that you are confident, you will go big, because now you are confident about the business of the company as well as the value of the stock itself. Now I know what you might be thinking. It's very hard to follow this advice, right? That's why he advises that if you are still in your early age of investments, instead of delaying your investments or focusing on sitting on cash, try to invest into broader market ETFs like S&P 500 SPY, because the cash is worth less with each passing day. Now we talked a lot about investments in terms of the stocks and the market and the businesses. But the sixth rule, which is the most important rule he describes, is to invest in yourself.
The best boat you can have is your own talent. I mean, they can't take it away from you. Inflation can't take it from you. Taxes can't take it from you. So I urge everybody, when I talked to them in high school about this and college, is just develop the habits. You've got the brain power, you've got the energy, but develop the habits of success and look around you at the people that you admire, and list what makes you admire them compared to somebody else that looks equally strong or equally talented. And those are things that you can do. I mean, just write them down. So I encourage everybody to build your own moat around yourself.
Here, Mr. Buffett has made a great point in nailing out this most important rule, which I personally think that everyone in the world should follow, which is investing in yourself. He mentions in this interview to develop habit of success. But how? How would we do that? Let me break it down for you. Developing a habit isn't easy, and there are lots of books out there to help you learn how to create a habit. But developing the growth mindset is the way to move forward. Trying to be more curious about the stuffs happening around you, learning through books instead of constantly watching Netflix, and most important is that the time is more scarce than the money you have in your hand. And use most of it by buying books or taking the courses which will teach you a skill or two. Even spending time with the people you admire and learning from them when you know that they have the right skill or something they can teach you. And all of this will create a habit out of you which will make you a disciplined investor over time. Now finally, listening to these rules and advices seems life-changing, especially when it's coming from the father of value investing, also the world's best investor. But it will slowly fade away if you don't implement it in your life. And if you are someone who struggles to follow these life-changing advices and needs constant reminders to be mindful about your investments and decisions, you should probably want to consider subscribing to my channel, because I create similar videos every week and I uncover various topics on Canadian finance as well as general finance and investing, which applies to most part of the world. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next one.